back in the shed and the car's on the hoist. Not gonna lie, I've already gone through and had a quick look under the car and I am absolutely stoked on the deal we've got ourselves. So let's have a quick look at some of the big item things that basically just pay for the whole car themselves. 444 welded diff, eBay low control arms, they'll do the job. It's got max speeding rods that are stiff as anything. I'm probably gonna pull them out. Might even get a new pair of max speeding rods. But they are a bit stiff. It's got that full eBay lock adapter kit, but we will be chucking in a 2-step garage lock kit, which we help develop with Mike Lake. Underneath is extremely clean. You've got like the odd scrape in that. Obviously it was a drift car. I don't know how much drifting it's actually done, but yeah, there's a heap of different items. Like fuel line's been repaired there. But it's been done properly, so nothing wrong with that. Underneath here is pretty clean. Probably the jankiest thing that I've found on the car so far is the oil drain. So as you can see, it looks like it's been screwed into the, probably just tapped and pushed into the sump, and they've just put like goop silicone around to seal it. It looks like it seals, may have a slight leak. I don't know if that's just leaking out here or if it's leaking a little bit out there, but nothing over the top. We can fix that at any time. And a bit of a pain to get the sump off, but not the end of the world. As you can see, stock manifold up here. This is where I think we're going to be mounting our turbo. So originally I had a bottom mount set up. The guy wanted to change it to a top mount setup. Looking under here, I think we can make, looking under here, I think we can make the bottom mount still work. And because this is a budget build, I'm just gonna weld the wastegate to the housing of the turbo, directly to it. Not even, I didn't get the flange that you normally get to mount it to it, like, so you can make the wastegate removal or whatever. I didn't get one of them with the car. So I'm just gonna drill a hole in the housing, weld that to the housing. That's the cheapest option. It's gonna control boost perfectly fine. Otherwise, it looks like it's got relatively new engine mounts in it. And yeah, everything, I'm absolutely stoked. Like, you know, all gearbox stuff looks like it's been looked after. It's got a new fuel filter on it. I'm pretty sure the M43, sorry, come with the small filter and someone's put like a 6-cylinder, either that or this wasn't originally, no, it was definitely a 389. So I don't know, I have a feeling that's been swapped, but maybe some certain models come with that, so I could be wrong there. I haven't owned that many 4-cylinder E36s. Otherwise, it's an absolutely perfect deal. Like, it's got everything that I need. Looking under here, plenty of room under the over fenders, so it's been quite good. Let's just grab our turbo, the new turbo that we've got with it, and back speeding on specialty. Come up here, sorry, no lights on out here. So this is our new max speeding rods turbo. And let's just see if this will actually fit up in here where the old turbo sat. I'm gonna sit you down because I can't do this one-handed. And we'll see if we can get that to sit up there. I got some assistance because it was too hard to hold the camera and try to get the turbo up in there. So we've got our max speeding rod specialty. Trust me, these turbos, I'm not even gonna pretend they're fucking awesome. I wouldn't put this on any other car. Go get a Pulsar or something half decent, do stuff properly. Don't have this be the reason why your car doesn't make a full track day. If you're really doing a budget build, then get one of these, but Pulsar is still budget, so that would be my preference. Alright, so enough of the talking. Can we make that fit up there? Yeah. It's quite big. And it's going to be quite low. We could mount it something like that. I just don't know where I would run the intercooler piping. Might have to clock the turbo. The core needs to be clocked anyway. But if we can get it up as high as possible, then we can reuse their drain. So potentially we could run it like that. The steering shaft is quite up there in the way. If we could find a way to run the intercooler piping from here, then we would get away with doing that potentially. Otherwise, the other option is to redo the manifold or some sort. I really don't want to do that. This is a budget build, so I don't want to go crazy. I don't need another turbo car. The manifold is just sitting on there with a couple nuts and bolts. It doesn't have all the nuts and bolts in, so we do need to have a look at that anyway. But I'm going to do some brainstorming and see if I can come up with a proper plan, and we'll be right back with that plan. It's been about 10 minutes, like trying to position the turbo up there, work out where we can run the oil drain, where we can run the intake to the turbo, how much dirt and stuff's going to get in the turbo if you go off track, where can we run the intercooler piping. Yes, it's doable. If it was a street car, then I would probably persist and try to make that work. But what I'm going to do now is there's only a couple bolts in the manifold itself. So I'm going to drop that down and I'm going to flip the manifold over, and I'm just going to suss the options for like a J-pipe setup on a high mount. So we'll just use the stock manifold, flip it over, run a J-pipe setup. I know Jordan and Mike have done this in the past and it seems to work, so we'll have a look at our options. The turbo is quite, I mean, it looks small on camera, but it's quite big for an M43, and I feel like, I mean, it will work, but I just don't want it to be like a nuisance and like in the way of everything. So right now, I'm going to take the manifold off, bring the car down, flip the manifold, and we'll have a look at what options we have there. Alright, so we have the manifold out of the car. Honestly, 4-cylinder BMWs, so easy to work on. Like, I can just grab this out without removing anything. Undid the 2 bolts. It's meant to have more studs in it, obviously, but only had 2 in it because the guy was already stuffing around with it. But literally, pulled it out, cut a strong cast manifold, and it comes in and out in like 5 minutes. So makes life easy. So now we're just lowering the car back down, and we're going to pop the bonnet and put this in upside down. See if we can, because these runners might not all work. So my suspicions were correct with the manifold. The studs are reversed, like they've got the 2 center ones slightly different. So we can't run it upside down. I thought about making an adapter plate to go from there to there, but we'd still have to space out the manifold and then it hits the steering shaft. So the final plan will be to have the manifold the normal way. Then we'll run a J-pipe from here, underneath the engine arm, up through here, into the flange for the turbo, which I think is T3, up into here. There's enough room to have the dump pipe coming off the back here, and it will hug above the stock manifold. I'll tuck all these up and each of these out of the way, and then duck that. It's probably only going to be like a 2.5-inch exhaust. Duck that back through there and pass the steering shaft, connect up to the rest of the exhaust that's already been made. You got the oil feed line. That'll just come across the engine, across like that. And the turbo will basically sit here. Should be able to get a nice sized dose pipe on there. Then we'll clock the front housing so that you can run the intercooler piping down this hole here. And that's about it. The wastegate will go, the wastegate, we've got a tile wastegate, which is pretty cool. And we're going to do a hood exit wastegate just because I really can't be bothered trying to find somewhere else to mount it, and the stock manifold's not really good for a wastegate position, so we're just going to drill a hole, keep it nice and cheap and easy, drill a hole in the top of the housing, then weld that directly to the housing, and then we'll fix up that pipe so it goes through the bonnet, and that will be our wastegate set up sorted. So yeah, that's where we're at. That's going to be all for today's video. In the next video, you're going to see us doing this setup. So in the next video, the plan is to mount the manifold up, run the J-pipe to the turbo, plumb the oil feed and the oil drain to the turbo, and then start the car up for the first time. Obviously, we haven't heard the car run or start. We know it made good power before it was all pulled apart, and we know that it's got a tune and everything, but we really haven't seen it, and we don't know the other turbo was small. This turbo is actually bigger. We're not only turboing this car, we're going to be showing you how to install the best budget lock kit for an E36. Then we're going to take it drifting, we're going to go to hill climbs, and we're probably going to drive the crap out of this car, and we're probably going to break it.